Good evening and welcome to Angel Hour. This is the Monday version of Angel Hour the original. I also am now doing Angel Hour on Wednesday mornings at 11 o'clock. This is the Wednesday morning one, is for readings, clairvoyant readings, more than the healing and the readings. Monday nights are the healing meditation, and then the second half of the show is the clairvoyant readings. And tonight I've been asked by the spirit world to work with the fairies. This actually happened a couple of weeks ago. They said to me, would I do a fairy angel hour? And I said, yes, of course. And it's turned out to be very close to Midsummer's Eve and to the solstice. So the perfect timing for the fairy world. Fairies to me are in a higher energy field than the humans. I have had quite a lot of experience of seeing the fairies, many different types of fairies, and I printed off a picture of a photograph that I was very lucky to be able to take. You can see it's been taken on an old phone. This was about 4 years ago, and I was in my friend's garden in Yorkshire, and I was looking around her garden and I said, oh my goodness, you've got a lot of fairies here. And there was one fairy in particular who was taller than the rest, and she said to me telepathically that she was looking out for and looking after all of the smaller fairies. And I suddenly thought, wouldn't it be great if I could get these on my camera? And I asked her telepathically, and I got a yes. And this is the resulting picture. I think you can see that she's got long brown hair and she's dancing, very obliging to allow me to take a photograph. It's quite unusual to get fairies on photographs because they're vibrating at a higher frequency than humans, just like angels and other ascended beings. And I thought to myself, well, perhaps it's because I asked that she let me take the photograph and come out like that. I have seen them at Highdown Gardens, which is in the Worthing where I live. And I was walking down the steps to the pond, and there are little pools of water which trickle down into the main pond. As I walked by, I suddenly felt a whoosh, something light come into my energy field. As I turned and looked down to the right, I saw in one of the pools of water a small fairy, transparent, and I think she was a water sprite, and she showed me what she was doing. She was gathering light and energy from the water, and she was throwing it into people's auras as they went past, giving them a lift and healing energy. I've also had fairies from Glastonbury come and jump into my aura from the Chalicewell Gardens at Glastonbury, and my car has been full of them on the way home. I've been travelling with somebody else when that's happened who's also experienced it. And what I gathered from that is that the fairies actually use a human energy field sometimes to travel in. And they told me that they were coming back to connect to the fairies in my garden. So traveling fairies. And I know that elves also exist because last summer when I was glamping in East Sussex, I actually had a very tall elf appear to me. And he did look something like the elves in The Lord of the Rings, but I rather suspect that they will take the form in a way that we can recognize them as humans. I rather suspect that they can show themselves how they like, because I have seen shorter elves that have bald heads and pointed ears. But I had quite a long conversation with the one in East Sussex on this glamping site. There were lots of woods around, and it was really quite a magical unexpected experience. So when I see people that work with fairies, I see lots of little lights in their energy field, and they're multicoloured. They look different to the lights of the angelic beings in somebody's aura. They seem somehow busier, and they're very, very creative. My idea tonight is to do a guided meditation so that everybody who would like to connect to the fairy dimensions and experience their energy and their healing for themselves can do so. And then I want to move on for the second half of the show and do some clairvoyant readings using the fairy cards and my aura soma bottles. So when we get around to that time, either write up fairy card or aura soma and give me a number. I have most aura soma bottles from 0 up to 110. Some of them I don't have, but if I've been drawn to come to you and I don't have your number, I will intuitively pick a bottle for you so that you still get a reading. So tonight, crystal-wise, I'm working with fairy quartz, of course. It's a nice piece of fairy quartz there, which is lovely, sparkly, high vibration. And a smaller piece here, if you can see that. And they feel very light to hold. They always feel to me like they're lifting my energy, and also as if they're making me feel creative and inspired. And I'm sure lots of people watching work with the fairies already and may even know who your own fairy guide is, because we can call in a fairy guide from the fairy dimensions in the same way that we can connect to our guardian angels and our own personal unicorns. There will be a vibrational match and a volunteer from the fairy dimensions if you want to call them forward. So this will also be part of the meditation. Right, so grounding wise, I've got a nice dark bracelet here of shungite, which I'm just placing on my lap. And right, so if you have crystals and you want to work with those, just hold them while you're doing the meditation. If you have fairy quartz, fantastic. Or if you have fairy stones, like this little one I've got here, that's a little bit like Mickey Mouse. Any unusual stones you find in nature are often called fairy stones, and they have a connection with the fairy realms and are found by those people that the fairies would like to connect to. So they are a little sign left by the fairies. Anywhere out in nature is good to connect to them. Fairies are very connected to the earth and to nature. So if you have a corner of your garden that you would like to dedicate to the fairies, that actually creates a very magical energy area. And they're always very grateful for anything pretty or sparkly or any attention that you'd like to give to them, because they want to work with humans to raise the consciousness of humans spiritually. Always remember that they're vibrating at a higher level than us, which is a good thing for us humans. And they're very environmentally conscious, very eco-friendly, and they would really love humans to look after the planet a bit more. So in a nutshell, that's a little bit about my experiences with fairies, and I'm sure lots of people have really beautiful experiences with the fairy realms. If you have had one and you want to write it up on the comments so that other people can read it and you'd like to share it with them, do go right ahead. Anyway, without much further ado, I'm moving on to the meditation now. So, do get yourself comfortable and just begin by closing your eyes and asking your own guides and angels to step into your energy field. And you might feel the energy shift as you do so. And imagine that there is a beautiful pink light coming down from above your head. And it's soft, it's healing, it's very joyful. Breathe in this beautiful pink light. And as you breathe it into your body, it is expanding your energy field. And as you continue to breathe in the pink light, set your intention to connect to the fairies. And imagine that there is an orb of pink light pulsating above your crown. It has all the shades of pink, from baby pink through to cerise. It's shiny, it's iridescent, it's sparkling. Some of the pinks are soft and soothing, some are vibrant and deep, and some are mid-pink. Now those different shades of pink are cascading from the orb above your head down through your energy field. So ribbons of beautiful light are spreading down through the front, down through the left-hand side, down through the back, and down through the right-hand side of your aura. This energy is being brought in by the fairies to help everybody to attune to their vibration so that you can feel them, sense them, and get to know them. And just relax even further and imagine now that you are standing outdoors on a beautiful midsummer's evening. Your feet are bare and you're standing on warm, dry earth. You are in a woodland. The woodland is very alive with beautiful energies. As you stand there, become aware of the tree at your left-hand side and notice the type of tree that it is. For this will mean something later on. And as you now begin to walk along this path, look at the grass either side and be aware of any daisies that are just closing up as the light is fading. There are other wildflowers along the path. And as you walk, you leave behind your worries, your cares, and your concerns. The walk in nature is reviving your spirits, reviving your soul, beginning to feel good. And as you walk along, you notice that walking along beside you is a small animal. It may be a dog, it may be a cat, it may be a badger, it may be any type of animal. Just again take notice of who this animal guardian is. And you are feeling more and more in touch and connected to the earth. Become aware of the beautiful energy field of earth and the greenery. You might feel the presence of the green man. Somewhere back behind you, an owl hoots, the beautiful sound, and you feel very much at peace. And as you relax more, you are more observant, and your finer senses begin to open. Your vision and your feelings heighten in the woodland. You are completely surrounded by the most beautiful, transparent fairy folk. And somewhere off to your right-hand side, you can hear music being played. Sounds enchanting and delightful, and it just adds to the pleasure of your walk. And presently, by and by, you come to a very still pond. And now, as the moon has begun her ascent, you're aware of the light of the silvery moon on the surface of the pond, and a flicker of a fin as a fish dives and goes deeper into the water. And there's a small rustle in the bushes at the side of the pond, where little animals are making their bed and their home for the night. And you choose now to sit down on a comfortable seat or on the grass outside of this pond, where there are lily pads. And as you look at the surface of the water, you begin to have a sense that the water itself is stirring slightly. The silver light from the moon is beginning to share with you the presence of a magical fairy energy. This fairy seems so big. It's like she is rising from the very slight haze or mist that is forming on the very still pond. Her skirts are long and silvery, and her wings are silvery, large butterfly-like wings behind her. And she looks so exquisite. As she comes more and more into view, she is choosing to materialize herself. She wears small pointed embroidered shoes and seems to be just standing on the surface of the water an inch or two above it, just hovering there, and she smiles at you because she knows that she can grant you access to the world of the Fae. So in your mind, ask this beautiful Queen of the Fairies if she will allow you entrance to the portal between the two worlds. And as you choose to connect with her in your mind, she comes closer to you and is standing beside you. And as she comes close, notice how her energy field makes yours feel lighter. And if you could smell the wonderful fragrance around her, she is absolutely exquisite. Her long hair has flowers braided into it. She wears a small crown, tiny sparkling jewels and she laughs. And as she laughs, that sound tinkles, and she smiles the most benevolent smile, almost like a fairy godmother, and she is saying yes to you. And now she places her hand in yours, and she clasps your hand. As she does this, a silvery energy washes through your hand and your arm. Streaming light flashes through your aura. Again you feel lifted. As she takes you through now, a portal between some beech trees. And the silvery light from her makes all of the leaves on the beech trees shimmer in silver. Again you feel cleansed by the energy from the trees. And this magical place where you now find yourself is a lighting up your crown chakra. Notice you can feel the sparkling lights all around the top of your head. And every now and again, fairy folk seem to be coming out of the bushes either side. And the fairy queen is ringing a small bell that she has produced from the folds of her skirt. And as she rings this bell, she is summoning the fae so that you can meet them. Your impressions may be of tiny fairy folk, and medium fairy folk, and rather larger fairy folk, all with their own divine purpose and energy. They all work together, and they all share and complete tasks between them. And the fairy queen here is asking, through the many hundreds of fairy folk here, for the one fae being, the one fairy person, male or female, that is to be your personal helper from the fairy dimensions. So just stand with her, enjoying the light in your own time, until you feel that shift again in your energy field, telling you that somebody is approaching you. And in front of you, there is a beautiful fairy. Now your fairy will be perfect for your needs, depending on what it is you need help with or would like encouragement with, inspiration for, or healing. Spend a few moments enjoying the company of this being. This is very real in a higher dimension, and you may ask them for a sign from them personally, which you will be able to recognize back in the material world. And just let them give that to you now. And so, they have given it to you, and you will become aware, if you haven't already, of what it is they've given you energetically as their sign. But you will begin to see it more and more in your material world, especially when you ask for the fairies to connect with you. And do bear in mind, they like to be communicated with like any friend. Do bear in mind that there's an element of trust both ways. They trust you to take them sincerely, and their efforts and their energy that they input towards you to be respected and cherished. And they ask only that you spend some time whenever you can listening to them and sharing your energy with theirs. That would make them very happy. You'll probably find lots of new ideas start to come to you, and these will all be on your soul path and in the right direction for you. They work in alignment with divine purpose. So, you have another fairy friend with you. And your fairy friend is hugging you now, thanking you for making the journey spiritually to meet them. The owl is hooting again, and this makes the fairy queen look around and think to herself, it's time now to bring you back to the material world. So, yes, okay, so she's showing me a timepiece, like an old-fashioned watch and chain. Ah, okay, so what she's meaning is, whenever you have the time, do this, make this connection. And then she's showing me an acorn, meaning from small acorns mighty oaks grow. And now she's carrying you through in a swirl of her silver energy and white light back to that lily pond where you were. And you brought back a lot of beautiful, sparkling Fey energy with you. And you also remember your tree and the animal that walked beside you. Now you're saying goodbye to her and thanking her. And in your own time, gently and slowly come back into the space that you were in to start with. Okay, so you might like to Google your tree. If it's oak tree, for example, it's going to mean strength. If it's a pine or a fir, it's going to mean cleansing. And beech is always quite magical, as is the rowan. Lots of different trees. So that and the power animal. This will be a sign from the Fae or the fairy world. If it's a cat, it's going to mean your psychic protection. A dog is going to mean friendship. And just, if you don't already know, do some research and find out what the message is in that for you. So I hope everybody has enjoyed the fairy meditation. And I'm going to move on now to doing some readings and having a look to see who has joined me tonight. So do remember to write up on the comments fairy card or Aura-Soma and an Aura-Soma number if you would like an Aura-Soma bottle. And this is my fairy water. I've got a crystal and a petal in it, so I've got that from the garden. It's a California poppy, just energizing the water. Right, so Marianne Hoffman, hello. Yes, lovely with the fairies. Absolutely. It was never something that immediately occurred to me because I was aware of guides since I was a child, and angels I've been working with for the last 25, well, probably 30 years or so now. But the fairies have always been there in the background. And if I think back about it, there's actually been lots of incidences where the fairies have connected. Like before I did the workshop last weekend, we were clearing the ley lines, opening a portal of light for the Intergalactic Council to come through. And before I taught the workshop with my friend Diana Summer, I was tuning in before I left for the morning, calling all the energies in, calling Archangel Michael to protect everybody on their journey in. And as I did this, in came elves, a whole procession of elves into my healing room. And I saw that they had silver bowls that were engraved, and they showed me silver light, and they were asking me to include them in the meditation and the workshop so that they could bring in this silver cleansing ray, because they wanted to help and be a part of the work we were doing with all of the other spiritual hierarchy. So I actually find elves very magical and very fine and very beautiful energy. Hi, Ivor Scott. Oh, I've never seen fairy quartz before. Okay. Hi, Stephanie Phillips. Hi, Karen Lark. Hi, Karen Griffiths. Oh, hi, Kay Millwood. You built a fairy garden and your grandchildren are always drawn to it. Hey, I'm not surprised. Right, Kay Millwood. I'm going to pick a fairy card for you. And the deck that I'm working with is Magical Messages from the Fairies by Doreen Virtue. So I'm just going to give the cards a little shuffle. Hi, Virginia. Hi, Kathleen. Hi, Leslie. Hi, Michelle. Right, this card is for Kay Millward. Come on, fairies, let's see what you'd like to say to Kay. Okay, so I've split the deck and chosen one. Assertiveness, it says, Kay, and it reads, stand up for your beliefs and only say yes if you really want to. So I'm guessing that this is resonating with you immediately, the words on the card. And my impulse, my impression here is to say to you, ask the fairies to help you with your assertiveness and standing up for yourself. You've got the connection. The reason that the fairies are so good is they are more down to earth, they're more connected to the earth than the angels, right? So when it comes to things on the earth plane, they actually are really helpful for things in the material world. They can be very protective of you, and I'm absolutely sure that fairies definitely are very strong and do stand up for their own rights. They're quite assertive. So this is something which could do with a little fairy oomph, shall we say, for you. Because as I think now a little more, or I open my mind a little more and want to go deeper with you, Kay, I feel that you worry about upsetting other people. And the minute I say that out loud, the following thought I'm given in my head from the fairies is actually a clear boundary and firm ground where other people know where they are, can actually be quite a safe feeling, you know. If you put your boundary down calmly, nicely, and are very firm about it, it can actually make other people feel quite safe because you're asserting yourself. And there's a big difference between being assertive and aggressive. Not that I think you're aggressive. I'm just saying that assertive is very different to aggressive. Assertive is calm, it's clear, and it's firm. And I think a little bit more of that is what you need to do, and not worry about it, because I don't think you will offend people. I do think that needs to happen, though, Kay. I do feel you as a very sensitive soul. And as I talk about you and attune myself to your vibration right now, I'm seeing a lot of turquoise in my mind's eye. And I'm aware that this is from your energy field, this turquoise light. As I feel into this turquoise light, to me, this is saying Atlantis, and that frequency, the soul vibration of an Atlantean light worker. And I'm hearing in my left ear, courage, So I feel that what's happening is a spirit world want you to have more belief in yourself, to follow your own inner intuition and your own guidance, because I think that may have gone a bit off course, the self-belief bit, which ties in again with the assertiveness card. And I just asked in my mind for a crystal which would be good for you right now, okay? And straight away I saw and I heard ruby. You can buy rough ruby inexpensively, or you may already have a piece of ruby, but ruby is a good healing vibration for you now, and it's strengthening, it's deep. These beautiful reddy pinks are very good for the material level of us, and they, of course, bring in the love energy. Yeah, so ruby is the one for you right now. So I hope that struck a chord with you, Kay, and I hope that's helpful. And I'm smiling because as I'm thinking to say goodbye, I suddenly had a whole chiming in of a group of fairies who want me to thank you for whatever it is you've done in the garden. Okay, so fairies here are obviously linking me to the fairies with you and want me to pass on that message. Is there some kind of little house or door shape as well? Have you got that? Because I'm seeing that as part of it. All right, and I'm also seeing little flat pebbles, some kind of stones in placement in that area. But I know that these fairies are very aware of it and they enjoy it. Let's think about it. These are things they can't do for themselves. When I've seen fairy places that they've built, they're all etheric. They're all made of energy because they can't move anything physical around. So of course they appreciate it. And it's a kindness to them and it's part of working with them. Lovely. What more can I say? All right, so I'm going to move on, Kay. Thank you for joining us tonight. Hello, Brenda. Hello, Jessica. Hi, Chris McGuinness. Right, I'm just asking people again to write up on the comments fairy card or Aura Soma and a bottle number if you want Aura Soma. I'm just looking to see where I'm drawn at the moment here. Right, okay, so I am drawn to Jessica Sorden, who's put a nice little face up there. So Jessica Sorden, I'm picking a fairy card for you. This is for Jessica. And the card is children. Your connection with children is part of your life's purpose, Jessica. So says the card. Right, okay. So as I try and link to your vibration, and I've just seen you've written up here that you love fairies. That's great. I'm sure they love you too. There will be a mutual energy feeling there and a connection if you love fairies. Right, so I just have to describe what I'm seeing. I'm actually seeing you drawing fairies with pens or paper. So either you do this already or they're suggesting that you do it. They would like you. I'm hearing the word illustrate. So I know that they would like you to do some fairy artwork. And I do really feel that the energy of the fairies is coming in with you through the medium of art, and that would work really well. And I think that is where the connection with the children, because I do think these would be really something that children would love. Right, so now they're showing me a very big, like a green hill, which I would call a tor, and I'm not saying it's necessarily Glastonbury Tor, but a great, very high, steep, hilly mound set in countryside. So I'm feeling that either you will go past one like that, or you have been past one like that, driving or being driven, one or the other. And is there a burial mound that you're aware of? This is quite random, isn't it? But that's what I'm being shown, so I talk about what they're showing me. And now they've skipped from that, and they're actually talking about homeopathic medicine. So I'm sure that's some kind of recommendation, Jessica, there for you. But right, they're also showing me pressed flowers. Flower blossoms that are pressed, either in books, something like that. Don't know whether you enjoy that or whether you've ever done that, but that's what they're showing me, so I just give that to you as well. Okay, crystal wise, as I ask for you, I had a green colour come in and I heard the word Lemurian. So I would say if you can find, and this is two different crystals, I'm just clarifying that in my mind, Lemurian crystals, and also it's a green calcite. These are two that would be good for you to work with. The Lemurian, because you have a strong Lemurian energy connection in your energy field from when you were here in Lemurian times, and the calcite for its calming qualities. Calcite tends to calm, it tends to heal and soothe us. So because it's the green calcite, I know that's connected to the heart chakra. Right, so that's for your heart and your inner feelings and emotions. Right, okay. Now I'm seeing a fairy with many different coloured butterfly wings, and she's saying to me about you experimenting a little bit more in colours. She's showing me lots of colours that she would like you to wear, to bring into what you're wearing. So if you feel like going with that, try and connect to her, bring her in your meditations, and I think she wants to help you. With what you wear. I'm seeing bright coloured scarves, and this colour, of course, is very healing. It brings in different colour vibrations. So if you're wearing a yellow scarf, it's going to bring in that sunshine, uplifting feeling, for example. So those are all very fairy ideas they're giving me for you. So I hope that's resonated with you. And I'm going to move on now and see where I need to go. Marianne says she wishes she could see them. Well, keep working on it. Keep asking them to help you to see them, because I believe that they drop their vibration and help us to see them, and they work towards connecting with us in the same way that we work at lifting our vibration, calming our mind to connect from our side. Keep asking, keep spending the time. And I'm thinking, Marianne, what I would do is I would actually program a quartz crystal, just clear quartz, and I would ask the fairies to anchor their energy in that, so that when you hold it, you're holding some of their vibration in that crystal, which would help you to connect with them more strongly. Just ideas. So Marianne, while while I'm talking away to you, I'm going to pick your card as well. Right, here we go then. Messages from the fairies, a message for Marianne. Right, let's see. That's a nice card. Perfect timing. This is the right time for you to move forward. Okay, Marianne, no more procrastination. It's time for you to put into action any plans or any dreams, any wishes, any things you've been longing to do are all signals from your higher self. The impressions, the longings, the daydreams. Our higher self gives us those as messages and inspiration for things that would bring us joy and fulfillment. Don't put that off. Do try and work towards at least one of your goals and see if you can do something towards achieving that this week. Make some headway, make some definite plans. I do get the impression, just a feeling that you put things off for a long time. And actually, I feel the fairies would want you to enjoy your life a bit more and do some more fun-filled things, is the feeling. And for you, from the fairy dimensions, I'm looking at one that's just come into my third eye. I'm looking clairvoyantly at a little fairy chap with a classic green hooded outfit on, with a pointed green hat. Very classic fairy. Right, so he's actually shown me himself jumping onto some piano keys and just playing around with those. So I think what he's saying is enjoy music and put music on to help you to relax and just to enjoy it, all right? Take more time to have more fun and do things that you enjoy, because the payback for that is more energy and getting rid of stress when you have those breaks. I think the fairies are right. I think playful time releases a lot of the stress, and I just think it's really important. And yeah, as I link with you further, I'm seeing symbolically a green path of light on the path, a door that's shut on the path, and I do feel that's how you've been feeling, not being able to see ahead or see how things are going to work out. But my feeling is relax, let go, and ask these fairies that I know you can connect with. Ask them to help you, okay? Ask them to help you find the right moments. Don't put things off. That was the key message. And if I want to think about crystals for you, Marianne, straight away I see deep blues, and this is sapphires, this is lapis lazuli, sodalite, anything on that deep blue vibration, very soothing, and of course connects to the throat chakra. Yeah, okay. So I think also they're saying certain things need to be said and spoken out loud that you've kept inside you for a long time, which is why the blues in the throat chakra is coming up, things that have been buried, okay? And I'm sure that's right, because they're talking about cleansing of the throat chakra and that being a part of it. So I'm going to leave you with those thoughts, and I hope that makes sense to you. Okay, so I'm just going or just seeing where I feel drawn. Hello, Liz. Hello, Marvin. Hello, Sand. Hiya, Hanan. Liz Smith, who says any card, please. Right, okay, Liz. This is for Liz Smith. Have you got children around you, Liz Smith, or have you had children around you? Just a feeling that's come into my mind. Card is vegetarian. A new way of eating gives you more energy, greater health, clarity, and stronger manifestation abilities. As I read that card, Liz, I felt that was more on the health side of things. Fairies are very keen on good health and helping us to detoxify ourselves, our homes, our lives, and come back to nature for the best healing. And I think the fairy message for you, Liz, is about detoxification. I get the impression that they would like you to drink more water and to look after your health more, and perhaps move your body more, health maintenance, and purify your diet. Right, okay. But I'm now seeing the sun. They're showing me a sun. I don't know if you like sunbathing or have been sunbathing, because as I look at that sun, I'm aware of somebody lying on a sun lounger or in the garden sunbathing. Okay, so that's the fairy card for you, Liz Smith. And I feel crystal-wise, rose quartz would be the right one for you at the moment. And actually, I also would say citrine. I'm also getting citrine, which is good for the solar plexus. So I hope you can take that, Liz Smith. Right, Karen Griffiths, who is I'm now moving on to, who's asking me for an Aurosoma. And you haven't said a number, Karen, so I am still going to work with you, but I will choose it for you. Right, let's see then. So I have got this one, and that's bottle number 10, Aurosoma number 10, which is green over green, and this actually is called Go Hug a Tree. Right, so Aurosoma number 10, as I hold this, I can feel a very soothing, earthy green energy coming through from the bottle, and it's very clear that the message is to get out into nature and be amongst tree energies. I feel this is because your vibration, your chakras needs relaxing and sorting out. I think the chakras are sort of bubbling around and not flowing. They're giving me the word congested. So this will help you if you do that. Also, of course, if you download a picture from the internet of bottle number 10, these colours, you can tune in to the colours, and the colour healing is a very good thing. If you wanted to actually energize a glass of water to this vibration, you would print this off, put it under the glass of water, and put some clear quartz in the bottom of the glass, and the energy from the Aurosoma picture would go up and it would attune the crystal and the water in the glass, so you can actually take it right into your aura, into your energy system. And if you do this for 7 days, then you would feel a difference. So that's with any of the Aurosoma colours. Moss agate is the crystal that they're giving me for you. yeah, just get out there and away from the stresses and strains of life. You need to decongest and let your energy start to flow again. That's the message for you. Bottle number 10. Okay. Hi, Silver Riders. Now, I know that you are in South Africa. Nice to have you join with us. And I will choose an Orosoma bottle for you. Now, I wonder whether that's you or your wife using your account. I'm not sure, but I will choose the bottle, I think, with you in mind, as it's your profile picture. So let's see. This is for Silver Riders. And I have got bottle number 52. And bottle number 52 is lovely. It's a little faded. Some of these colours can fade in the sunlight over time, but this is 52. Well, I know what it is. It's Lady Nada, pale pink over pink. And Lady Nada is one of the Lady Ascended Masters. She is the twin flame of Jesus Christ energy. She works on the karmic board for Earth. And as I think about Lady Nada and I hold the bottle, I'm very aware of her energy coming into my aura. And when that happens, or when you make a connection with her, in a meditation or an invocation, you can ask her for karmic dispensation, for the release of karma, i.e. congested problematic energies in your area, for yourself, for your soul group, for your family. But clearly, Lady Nada is offering, volunteering to connect to you, and I would say that's you as a couple, and I'm sure your beautiful wife will know exactly how to connect to that energy and do the work. It's very clear that Lady Nada is offering and volunteering, so do take that message with her blessing, and I'll be happy to hear any feedback from you at any time on that. I love that energy. Right, okay, so, oh, thank you for the feedback, Kay, there. Right, that's really nice for you to write out the feedback, and I'm glad that made sense, Kay. Right, let's see where else. Right, Isla Scott, either a card or number 34 or a Soma. Now, hopefully I have number 34. If I don't, it'll be a potluck one though. I'm not seeing bottle number 34. 32. Right, I'll choose one for you, okay? Let's see, come on, angels and fairies. Right, well, you've got bottle number 22. There we are, 22, which is yellow over pink. Pink's a little faded, but this is yellow over pink. The Rebirthers bottle, awakening. Right, okay, so I'm now sensing in with the energy of that. I'm having the sense that this spring just gone, something changed for you. And do you want to do more work, but of a different kind to the work that you're doing at the moment? And I also feel that you don't necessarily like making changes, but I'm being told to tell you that sometimes it's good to make changes. You don't know, the unexpected can be very good. Right, I'm also having the impression of a new person entering your life. Because I have the feeling of a male energy coming in. I don't necessarily mean this is on a romantic level, but I clearly heard an impression of a male energy coming towards yours. It could be in a work capacity, but quite a strong figure, and I had a good feeling about that. And I feel that that is this summer in the current energy that you're in at the moment. So just be aware of that. That felt good, and it felt like with good timing. So just remember that's on the cards, so to speak. Well, the rebirthers energy, of course, is talking about changing to the next version of you. So expect some changes, but in a very good way, and expect them to be possibly, well, expect the unexpected. Okay, so I'll leave you with those thoughts because I think that I have come to the end of Monday night Angel Hour. And I want to say thank you for watching. If you want to share the video in groups or in your own timeline, I will look tomorrow for somebody that I'm drawn to give a free reading to. That's a full hour consultation, and that can be on crystals, past lives, your guides, any area basically, or it could even be crystal healing session. So I'll look through the list of who has shared, and I will be back on Wednesday morning at 11 a.m. with just the readings. That's Angel Hour 2, Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Thank you for watching, and I think I should say fairy blessings. Bye bye.